The Power of Withdrawal. People struggle with loss. It might be at the top of the scale where you have suffered a bereavement and lost a well-loved family member. It could be the loss of your home, where you have lived for 20 years, owing to damage or repossession. It may be the loss of your job, a loss of good health, all the way down to something far less important, but a loss never the same, the loss of your favourite restaurant when it closes, or your daily caffeine injection from a coffee shop because you're economizing. Take something away from someone, and they will experience sadness, frustration, upset, anger, and sometimes confusion. Most of the time, people are governed by their emotions rather than cool, hard logic. The loss of something often has a devastating and traumatic effect, especially with regard to major losses, such as a spouse or a partner. Once upon a time, your parents seemed as if they would live forever. They were always there. They raised you, guided you, and supported you, unless you had the misfortune, of course, to have a parental narcissist. The parent let you find your own way through life, but if you ever needed them, they were, invariably, always there to listen and to help, and then one day you find that they have gone. And, for many of you, you are then left with a black hole in your life. Your best friend, who you have known for over 30 years, was a huge part of your life. You spoke daily, laughed about your younger selves, and the scrapes that you got into. You supported one another, and cruised through life like the dynamic duo, until that person has then gone. You feel a massive void since their departure to the next life or to another continent, dependent on your beliefs and circumstances. Remove something from a person's life, and they are left with hurt, despondency, despair, regret. This is, of course, all the more so when it is something or someone wonderful and particularly delightful. Then the emptiness becomes something more. It becomes a howling wilderness. We utilize loss. Whether it is a lesser or mid-range narcissist that instinctively recognizes the value of the power of withdrawal, or the conscious, calculated behavior of the greater narcissist or the ultra that has watched and observed and assessed and understands the part that withdrawal plays with regard to the firm governance of appliances, we, as narcissists, utilize the power with withdrawal. If we gift somebody something wonderful and then remove it, that is the exercise of power, a power that can be wielded with considerable effects. The power of withdrawal, even if just threatened, can bring about an extreme reaction in the recipient. This is something that we utilize repeatedly and something that we take advantage of. Many narcissists approach you with the golden period. This is when we seduce you and draw you in, showing you an apparent love, an apparent kindness, compassion, fantastic sex, interesting times, fun, laughter. We gave you, apparently, everything in the beginning. We provided you with a love beyond compare, a dizzying array of compliments, a barrage of desire, and a tsunami of flattery. We raised you up, higher and higher, and sprayed you with affection, passion, and generosity. The light was bright, warm, and golden, and we let it shine every day just for you. We allowed you to bask in this golden period of utter ecstasy, and in return, you gave us everything that you had in the pursuit of the maintenance of this golden period. Although you didn't know that it was just a period, you believed that you had found somebody who truly loved you, the one. And then, without warning, we withdrew it. Whether it was the institution of the stranger zone as part of the sustained devaluation, or whether we moved you straight into the pain of that sustained devaluation, we withdrew all of the good stuff. The door was closed and the shutters lowered, and once where you had walked happily and freely, you found yourself transported into the howling wilderness, where you stood alone beneath grey leaden skies as a cold and unforgiving wind whipped around you. People often tell me it feels as if that person had died. Whereas once we uttered such sweet, sweet words to you, there is now only silence. The reassuring embrace of our arms and lips has somehow vanished, and you feel stripped and vulnerable. All of the places we took you to and shared seem so distant, and at times you might even question whether it really happened. Feeling most alone and distraught, you wander this wilderness searching for, as the return of that person that we first showed you. Occasionally you catch a glimpse through a respite period, but in an instant that person has been removed and disappear as you continue to stumble along. The kindness has been removed. The long nights of sexual congress, which went beyond anything that you have experienced before, have been taken away, leaving your bed a cold, hard slab, where rest is to be endured rather than enjoyed. If we even grace you with our presence in that place, where we once coupled each and every night, a writhing mass of limbs and mouths that explored and pleasured, all you know now is our back, which is defiantly presented to you each night. That's if we even come to bed at all. The spare room or the sofa seem to attract us more than you on these days. Whether instinctively or consciously, we know that taking away this passion, this desire, this interest, this largesse and kindness is a hammer blow. It is as if we have died, yet you can still see us, you can still touch us and hear us, which makes the sense of loss even greater and all the more confusing for you. Like a pet owner dangling a bone in front of a salivating puppy, we occasionally open the shutters and through a respite period allow the golden period to return, and the joy and the relief which washes over you at the restoration of this almost glorious time is electrifying, and thus is so the extent of your gratitude and delight. Yet it is ephemeral. It is like a wonderful dream that has transported you away from all the hurt and misery, but just like a dream, when you open your eyes in the morning, it has gone. Withdrawal is easy for us. The maintenance of apparent love, the maintenance of kindness and support comes with it a cost in terms of energy, and it suits us far more to be able to remove it. The imposition of a silent treatment, or just the fact that we no longer compliment you, that we no longer hug and kiss you, that we no longer ask you about how your day has been, the fact that we no longer have sex with you, the fact that we won't help out like we once did, that we provide no interest in your interests, that we won't assist with the chores or the tasks of the household, that we no longer want to go anywhere with you, that we feign disinterest, that we no longer want to spend evenings curled up with you on the sofa watching television together. Withdrawal is easy for us to effect. It is very effective in terms of the assertion of control over you. It allows us to draw fuel because of your hurt, frustrated, and angry reactions to our withdrawal. We are, of course, still with you. We remain with you in the formal relationship, and therefore we will still continue to gather the residual benefits and the character traits. Because as an empath, you will not withdraw them, not immediately at least. You will continue to at least adhere to your side of the bargain, driven by your empathic traits of decency and honesty and compassion. Yet we withdraw. We withdraw from touching you. We withdraw from spending money. We withdraw from helping and supporting. Withdrawal allows us to conserve energy whilst asserting control over you. Whether it is done directly by withdrawing in front of you, removing those things that you once enjoyed, or through the imposition of a silent treatment as part of the third assertion of control, an active withdrawal where we remove ourselves from you. Whether it is no longer giving you something yet still being there, or disappearing for a period of time, you will always experience withdrawal in the dynamic with a narcissist. Every single type of narcissist does this, to a greater or lesser extent. Indeed, it is the mid-range, the greater, and the ultra who use it most, because we are the ones that provide you with the most to begin with, so you feel more keenly the withdrawal of the kindness, the largesse, the apparent love, the apparent affection, etc. Mid-rangers typically combine the withdrawal of favour with the imposition also of silent treatments, and thus you end up with a double whammy impacting upon you. This isn't done because you have done anything wrong, at least from your perspective, but from ours you have. You are either given a short-term withdrawal as a consequence of a corrective devaluation, which is where you are a secondary source, or it is much more sustained, where you're the intimate partner primary source, and the removal of, say, sex for months, even years, is as a consequence of you belonging to the sustained devaluation. Withdrawal will always be used against you. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.